What is up, YouTube? It is your boy J Mad. Welcome back. As you can see, we're upgrading a little bit. I got my own sign now. Thanks to my pops for that. It was a Christmas gift. I really like it. I hope you guys do too. It's just a really cool gift that I got. And it's really cool. I couldn't wait to show it off a little bit. Again, props to my dad. He just did an awesome job with it. And yeah, it's gonna be obviously my new sign going forward. We're gonna include it in every video, and I hope you guys really do like it. But yeah, I find it really, really cool. But that is not why you guys are here. The reason why you guys are here is because we're tuning into another video. This video is going to be about the first half of the hockey season. We are officially halfway through the hockey season, and it has been a really good one. Obviously, very competitive. A lot of teams are doing really good, and we've also had some breaking news as well. A lot of firings, a lot of trade speculation. We're going to go over that in today's video, and I just can't wait to obviously give you guys the scoop. And I'm also going to try to give you guys some bold predictions on the rest of the season going into the playoffs in this new year. And speaking of the new year,
Happy New Year!
now, to start off today's video, again, we're going to just go off just some breaking news that I found really interesting through the first half of the season. And again, it just caught my eye a little bit. And I just, like, some of these news I couldn't believe, but obviously they were breaking news, some bold moves, and we'll get to that right now. The first major bit of news, in the early half of the season, the Bruins fired their used-to-be head coach, Jim Montgomery, and they hired new assistant head coach, Joe Sacco. This was a very interesting move. The Bruins were struggling at first to begin the season, and they are still not doing quite up to expectations that they hold themselves to, but they're still in the playoff race. They're in the wild card spot, I believe, right now, if not the top three in their division, but they're still doing really good. I was just very surprised that they fired Jim Montgomery so fast. He obviously was such a great head coach for them, and I just couldn't believe that obviously they got rid of him so fast. But he didn't stay unemployed for long. He got hired by the St. Louis Blues, who would... I'm so confused by this move because they hired Drew Bannister in the offseason as their head coach for this upcoming season, and they literally fired him, like 4 weeks into the season? Not even that. And they decided to hire Jim Montgomery. Again, quote unquote, it was actually a brilliant move on the Blues' part because now they have a great head coach in Jim Montgomery. Yes, they haven't done any better as far as like in their current situation. Like, they're still fine for a playoff spot, but they're still like out of the playoffs as of right now. I don't expect them to make the playoffs even with Jim Montgomery as their head coach now. But I was just so curious, like, you guys hired Drew Bannister as your head coach, and then all of a sudden you fire him just to possibly get an upgrade in Jim Montgomery. I see it as, yes, a bold move, but maybe it'll be a move moving forward in the next few seasons to come. Maybe it'll work out. I don't know. But it was just a very interesting move by obviously not only the Boston Bruins firing them, but then obviously the St. Louis Blues hiring him. So again, it'll be something to monitor over the rest of the season and going into next season. But again, Jim Montgomery is one of the better head coaches in the NHL, in my opinion. I was very shocked at this move, and moving forward, like I said, it's something to keep an eye on with the St. Louis Blues. Moving on to my next sort of news, is the New York Rangers. The New York Rangers, wow, I couldn't believe how bad they're playing right now, but they are actually near the bottom of the league right now in the standings. They have just been horrible. I predicted them to make it the playoffs this year in my offseason predictions, but obviously that's not coming to pass. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, unfortunately, just because everyone else ahead of them is just competing so much better. And I just think, in my opinion, the Rangers, for some reason, it's just not working out. Peter Laviolette, obviously the head coach of the New York Rangers, I still think he's a good head coach, but if they don't obviously fight for close to a playoff position this year and possibly start bad in next season, I just think that he is going to be let go sooner rather than later. But that is definitely something to keep an eye on as far as Peter Laviolette. But because of how bad the Rangers have been playing, they've been making several moves as far as trades. They traded their captain, Jacob Trouba, to the Anaheim Ducks. That was such a shocking move because, again, he's actually one of the better defensemen in the NHL. He's a very physical defenseman. He has great leadership, but obviously the Rangers thought his leadership was just not working out right now, and unfortunately he he got the axe. He just got chopped away, and unfortunately, he had to be sent to the Anaheim Ducks. I believe the Anaheim Ducks trade away a prospect of theirs and a pick. I believe it was like a third or fourth rounder, I believe. But it was a very interesting move by the New York Rangers. I'm not surprised that they made that sort of move. They also trade another New York Ranger in forward Capo Caco. This was a very interesting trade because obviously, handful of years back, they selected Capo Caco second overall in the draft, and they thought he was gonna be the next like pure goal scorer for the New York Rangers. Like this guy was gonna be really, really good. But unfortunately, the chemistry, the coaching just did not work out in Capo Caco's favor. He never got any like prime time minutes. He never got that prime time moment of scoring and chemistry among his other line mates in New York. So unfortunately, the Rangers again chop the axe down and trade him to the Seattle Kraken. The Seattle Kraken, I believe, gave up a pick in the draft as well for him. So it was. I think this is a good pickup by the Seattle Kraken. This is still a young forward who has potential still. Like if Seattle can somehow hone in on that potential and crack it, this guy is gonna be very good for Seattle. Capo Caco can still be really good. It's just finding the right teammates for him and finding the right coaching for him. Is it in Seattle? That is to be determined, but. Again, I think, in my opinion, this was a good trade for Seattle, not a good trade for New York, unfortunately. Another bit of news with the New York Rangers was they locked down their longtime superstar goaltender in Igor Shesterkin. He signed an 8-year contract with them. He's now the most highest paid goaltender in the league, and I believe also in league history. This guy is just going to be obviously good for years to come. I'm not surprised that the New York Rangers locked him down, but obviously, like, the Rangers are just in a rut right now. Igor Shesterkin has tried to stay on his head for them, but unfortunately their defense has failed them. They don't have the speed and the power play that they had last year as far as the success that led them all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. But unfortunately, again, the New York Rangers are just not good right now, which is shocking. Again, I did not see it coming. A lot of people did see it coming. And now because of all the trades that they made, all the moves that have been happening, and obviously the way that they have not been playing well, I don't see the New York Rangers making the playoffs. Another sort of trade that happened that actually was a very big trade, the Colorado Avalanche ended up trading their goaltender Alexander Georgiev and forward Nikola Kovalenko to the San Jose Sharks, along with a 5th-round pick and a 2nd-round pick. And in return, Colorado got an upgrade in goaltending, basically, in Mackenzie Blackwood, and they also got a forward prospect in Giovanni Smith. They also got a 5th-round pick as well from San Jose. This was a very big trade for the Colorado Avalanche because this trade they needed to make. Alexander Georgiev was not doing it well as far as goaltending for the Colorado Avalanche. And ever since Mackenzie Blackwood has come in with the Colorado Avalanche, he's just been knocking it out of the park. He's only lost like not even a handful of games for them so far. He's been on a big winning streak for them a few times here and there. And because of that, the Avalanche are now back in the top 3 in their division. They are competing and they are starting to look like that Stanley Cup contender that they have been for the last few years. And this team, look out, because again, obviously they still have star players like Mikko Rantanen, Nathan McKinnon, Val Nichushkin, Kel McCarr. Like, this team is just stacked now, and Mackenzie Blackwood is playing out of his mind. They are just making the right moves at the right time, and I'm not surprised that San Jose made this move. They are, again, in rebuild mode. They just obviously want to get some picks in return, and also some forward depth in Nikola Kovalenko, because he's actually pretty decent. He's a young forward. He could be part of the future for San Jose. But again, this was just more about the rebuild more than anything for San Jose. For Colorado, this was more about the here and now. Like, obviously, you got Mackenzie Blackwood. Again, he's going to be good for years to come. They just re-signed him to a 5-year contract, I believe. And yeah, this team all of a sudden now, Colorado is going to be skyrocketing, I believe. I think because of that now, they do somehow land top 3 in the division heading into the playoffs, and they could be dangerous. They could be that Stanley Cup contender again, folks. So watch out, because that team's going to be very, very dangerous. Another sort of breaking news I have for you is the tension and the drama all the way in Vancouver with the Vancouver Canucks. There has been a problem and apparently a battle between players and teammates between Elias Pettersson and JT Miller. These two forwards, again, they're great forwards. They produce well for the Vancouver Canucks, but recently, obviously, because of some sort of personal battle between these two, I don't know if it's some sort of like drama or attitude battle, I don't know. But because of this and because of the drama that's been happening, there's been trade speculation, there's been rumors ramping all over the place. Like, obviously, about both JT Miller and Elias Pettersson. Both players are in trade rumors now, to the point where I would not be surprised. One, if not both, could be traded in the near future. Vancouver is just all over the place. They're barely clinging on to a playoff spot right now. The only reason why I believe they are is just because of the defensive depth that they have, and obviously the goaltending depth they have as well. This team is just they're good, but obviously with the drama that's in their forward group right now, they are all over the place as far as in the standings. I still somehow think they're gonna make it to the playoffs, but will they trade Elias Pettersson or JT Miller in this season? Maybe, maybe not. But that is definitely something to keep your eye on, because again, both these players are going to be very, very, very good, obviously, to whoever they're going to be traded to, or if they stay in Vancouver, obviously. I don't see them staying in Vancouver. Again, one, if not both, will be traded eventually, either this season or in the offseason. There's been a lot of rumors that the New York Rangers have been talking to the Vancouver Canucks about this, so keep your eye on that. But obviously, trade speculation is running rampant, and keep your eye on the situation, hockey fans, because this is going to be crazy leading up to the trade deadline. Another sort of breaking news is the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Columbus Blue Jackets are actually doing really good this season. Their forward depth, their young prospects are starting to shine for them. Adam Fantilli is obviously doing well. This team is actually doing really good in the standings. They are officially in a playoff spot as of right now. Will they make the playoffs? In my opinion, I don't believe they will. But they are closer than I thought they would be. They've proved me wrong up to this point, and if they do somehow make the playoffs, good for them. That's obviously a huge step in the right direction considering the offseason they had. But again, like, in my opinion, I don't think they're going to make it, but this is still a team to keep your eye on moving forward in this next half of the season, because they could upset a lot of teams and they could somehow chase a playoff spot potentially. Another sort of not so much breaking news, but another sort of news I have is the Los Angeles Kings, Edmonton Oilers, and Vegas Knights in the Pacific Division. They are all three. They all three own the best record right now in the NHL for the past, I want to say, month or so, and they're all in the same division. So this finish to the Pacific Division is going to be wild, hockey fans. Like, again, in my opinion, moving forward, as far as in this next half of the season, both teams are still going to be really good. I do think the Edmonton Oilers and the Los Angeles Kings are going to end up playing each other again for the fourth straight year in the playoffs. It's sad for me because I feel like it's not going to end well for the Kings unless they decide to just go crazy and somehow topple both Edmonton and Vegas and somehow win the division. But I don't see that happening. Again, this is definitely a finish as far as for the top seeding wise in the Pacific Division to watch. So do keep your eye on that as well. I most certainly will, obviously, because again, I'm a fan of the Kings, and this is going to be a great second half of the season. I believe it's going to be very competitive, and it's going to be a great finish for all three of those teams leading into the playoffs. And that is it for today's video, guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in. It means all the world to me from your love and support that you guys have continued to pour out for me. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, I'm trying to upgrade here with some potentially new decor. I'm also going to be posting some new videos soon about trade rumors, trade predictions, as well as some more in-game content. Like, I'm going to be going to more games here soon in the next month or so. Keep your eyes on that, guys. And yeah, like I said, appreciate the love and support. And another sensitive subject I would love to talk about is a reason why I've not been posting lately. Like, trust me, guys, I've been wanting to post more often. Truly, I have. The problem is recently I've been very busy, not just with work, but with life in general. I do live here in Southern California. We have multiple wildfires here in Southern California happening right now in the surrounding areas near Los Angeles County and Ventura County. And I've known friends, I've known family who have unfortunately lost homes, lost possessions, and have lost a lot because of these deadly fires. And it's sad and unfortunate to see. I pray for the victims every day. I pray for everyone who has been affected by these unfortunate accidents every day. And to be honest with you, like I said, it's just not been something that I want to talk about, but unfortunately I do have to bring it up because I feel as though those people have to have a voice in this. Like those people who have unfortunately lost their homes, lost their lives because of this, they have to be heard. And if they have to be heard through me, if they have to be heard through someone else, it needs to happen. And the awareness needs to be brought up here in California, especially in Southern California. But like I said, pray for the victims, pray for the families, keep them in your thoughts and prayers. And pray that obviously nothing happens near my home. Bless the Lord, He has obviously kept me and my family safe, my some of my friends safe, but unfortunately some friends and family that I do know have been affected by these wildfires, and I just thank you for your love and support, but I also ask if you love and support on them as well. And like I said, guys, I'm gonna try to build a new schedule. I'm gonna try to consistently post for you guys. But stuff like this will happen. Life will happen, and I just hope that with life moving forward for you guys, that again this new year, I hope that everyone has a great new year. It's a great year for everybody. It's obviously not starting off on the right for a lot of people, but I just pray that obviously with the rest of the year to come, that it's just a better one and a more joyous one. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like and subscribe as always, guys, and let's go!